Hello everyone, I'm Pacchia and this is Bloomberg Law on Demand. My guest today is Dr. Nina Smidt. She is the president of the American Friends of Bucerius. Her organization represents the Smidt Foundation as well as Germany's first private law school. Nina, thanks so much for coming in today and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
So the foundation and the law school are both really well known in Europe, but I have a feeling some of our American viewers might not be as familiar with both institutions. Could you take us through both and tell us what they do?
I would be delighted to. The Smidt Foundation is basically one of Germany's largest private foundations, and it has got two flagship institutions, one being the private Bucerius Law School, which is the first private legal university in Germany, and the other one being the private Bucerius Art Forum. They are all located in Hamburg, but since 2006 they have got a representation in the United States, which is the American Friends of Bucerius.
Now this was originally set up out of the estate of Gerd Bucerius, correct?
That's correct. Gerd Bucerius was a German politician and also the publisher of the German magazine Die Zeit, which is still published today. It's a weekly magazine. He was also a notable lawyer, and all his wealth went into the foundation. So he created the Smidt Foundation, basically. And with his money, these two institutions, the Bucerius Law School and the Bucerius Art Forum, have been created.
So it's really interesting. We wanted to bring you in today to talk about the idea of private legal education in Europe. Let's get a rundown on some of the demographics of Bucerius Law School. Who attends?
Basically, Bucerius Law School is still a very young university. It has been established in 2000 by the Smidt Foundation, and it's very small. It only has got 550 students at this point of time who are enrolled in our various programs. We do offer the traditional German first state examination.
That's the equivalent to an American JD?
That's correct. That's the equivalent to a JD. It's a four-year program. And about halfway through, we also offer a Bachelor of Law degree. There's also a Master of Law in Business, which is a program that combines legal aspects and also business and economics. We offer that in cooperation with a business school in the south of Germany, which is the Otto Beisheim School of Management.
How much does it cost to attend?
It's 3,300 euro per trimester. So for the whole study, for the whole period of studying, it's about 39,600 euro for 12 trimesters.
Wanted to ask about cost because that's very, very different from what American law students pay. As I'm sure you're aware, American education in general is ridiculously expensive by European standards. And perhaps for that reason, American legal education is finding itself in something of a crisis. Students are going and getting law degrees, borrowing a lot of money to accomplish that goal, and they're entering a job market that's quite uncertain. It's been uncertain for about 3 years. Wages aren't growing. They're declining in some areas, and they're having a hard time servicing their debt. What's the situation like in Europe? Are they encountering similar turbulence, or is it somewhat, I would imagine, somewhat better because they pay less for their law degrees?
Exactly. It's a little bit of a different situation because traditionally in Germany, education and higher education is run by the state and public institutions. So only in recent years we have seen that both public institutions take tuition from the students, and secondly that also private institutions are being created, such as Bucerius Law School, but there are also other examples of business schools primarily, and also another law school in Germany. But if you compare that to the United States, it's still very little in terms of tuition.
Sure.
If you compare, studying or taking 39,000 euro for a whole program, of course that's very different to the American situation.
And wages for lawyers in Europe and America are somewhat comparable.
They are you can compare them specifically when it comes to the international law firms. Like if you work for one of the large international UK firms or the large US firms who are also present in Germany. So I guess that gives a lot more flexibility also to the students in terms of starting their program and not really having to pay that much after finishing the program like you would have in the United States. In addition, at Bucerius Law School we have a need-blind admission program, basically meaning that students apply, they are taken according to their qualifications, and if they can't afford to pay for the study fees, they either get a scholarship or they get a reverse generation contract, which basically means that they have to pay back the loan but for very good conditions.
Do most grads go into practice straight away?
At Bucerius Law School, we basically see mainly three different areas. A lot of the students are going and work for large international law firms, practicing mainly business law. So this is one portion. The other portion basically decides to work either for governmental institutions or for NGOs. And thirdly, there are a number of students who also pursue a PhD after they finish at Bucerius Law School. This has to do with the fact that the results of the students are very good. So a lot of the students basically have got the opportunity to do later on a PhD, either at Bucerius Law School or with another institution.
So in the time that the school has been open, I'm finding this pretty interesting. Has the market for legal education shifted in any way? Are more students opting for law degrees? We still have a lot of applications, and we basically do have more applications than when we started in 2000. And a lot of the universities, also the public universities throughout Germany, see that. So there's still a strong demand for students to study law, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they will complete an only law degree. For example, with the Bologna process, which is an equalization of the higher education sector in Europe, it is possible now to do a bachelor's degree, for example, in business and economics, studying in Spain, for example, and then later on also to do a master's degree in law, or the other way around. So there's a lot of flexibility now, and a lot of students would choose to start studying at law school, not necessarily aiming to be a lawyer afterwards, but combining it with another interesting perspective and with another interesting degree. Getting to the shift in the market for legal education, I've received word that there is another institution that wants to set up a private law school in Europe. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that's basically the EBS Law School that has been created in Frankfurt, and it's the second private legal university or the private legal school. They're just starting now, so at this point of time it seems that there could be some similarities to what they actually do and compare that to Bucerius Law School. We are looking forward to that. We are in exchange with them. We are interested to see how they're going to establish themselves, what kind of international programs they're setting up. So we are looking forward to a little bit of competition.
Absolutely. How many Americans are applying to study at Bucerius Law?
We basically run an international program every year. This is something very unique about Bucerius, because all of our students in the LLB program and in the state exam program spend one trimester abroad with one of our 100 partner institutions, the majority being in the United States. So it's actually 32 partner law schools in the United States, ranging from Columbia, NYU, Stanford, etc. And on reverse, these partner law schools send their students to study in our international exchange program for 3 months. In the international program, we have about 60% American studying in the program. So there's a large percentage. Some of these students decide later on to return to the Master of Law and Business program. We see that specifically the American students really like their experience at Bucerius. They enjoy meeting students from all over the world, and they enjoy coming back to Bucerius.
Very good. Just in the short time that we have left, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about AFB's program for the upcoming year and what you're going to be working on.
Basically, our aim is here to reach out to our networks, that is, alumni of Bucerius Law School, partner organizations, corporate partners also of Bucerius Law School and the Zeit Foundation. So we offer a lot of events. This year we are going to focus on the Transatlantic Agenda, which is a program we are jointly running with the American Council on Germany. We've got a program on global mobility and migration we are running with the Carnegie Council, and we are focusing on the changing legal landscape. That's a program we are running with the Center on the Legal Profession at Bucerius and with Venable, a law firm here in New York.
All right, well, very good. Thank you so much for coming in today. This was a real pleasure.
Thank you very much.
That's Dr. Nina Smidt. She is the president of the American Friends of Bucerius. If you'd like to learn more about the issues we just discussed, go check out our offerings on BloombergLaw.com and on the Bloomberg Terminal. I'm Pacchia. Thanks for watching.